Everything comes to he who waits, and I have waited so very long for this moment.
Let her go.
I don't think so. No. While she remains imprisoned within this field, her powers increase my own, and when the moon reaches its zenith, the great eye will open, and all the powers of Grayskull will be bestowed upon me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another blockbuster classic from the 1980s. Well, some of you might not think that.
In a way.
I don't think that. I think it's Trevor's favorite film of all time.
It's a fun film.
Oh, my God. Yes. So in the 80s, toys were pretty much
They were a big
before
thing.
video games came out, you had the toys. And then you had, He-Man, you had G.I. Joe, you had Strawberry Shortcake, Cabbage Patch Kids, Legos, Fisher-Price,
Star Wars.
Star Wars action figures. It just kept going and going. You had Transformers and what do you call them? Something bots.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Nintendo and ColecoVision and Atari all showed up. So the 80s was definitely a very big in consumerism.
Yeah, it was a big era for like toys and sort of the real, commercialization of toys connected with franchises. Sometimes the franchises came first, like with Star Wars, the films came first, and then there was the toys. But with the likes of He-Man, I believe the toys came first. Then there was a cartoon series.
Well, He-Man was smart. What they did was, I think it was Mattel.
Yes, Mattel. Yeah.
What they did was when you bought a He-Man figure, it came with a comic book.
Yeah.
A mini comic book, and that would tell the story of maybe that particular character. It was actually quite cool little comics. I remember getting them. I have an actual Skeletor.
Right. I remember at the time I remember watching it and stuff, but like the Transformers, my cousin would have been bigger into them, whereas I was more into horror. He was more into sort of fantasy and science fiction. And saying that, I had a lot of Star Wars figures and stuff when I was very young, but he would have been more into, I remember him having like the Castle Grayskull and stuff and the Skeletor figure and all the rest.
Yeah, I always wanted the great Captain Castle Grayskull. And the great thing about the toys too, they were a massive upgrade from, even though Star Wars figures were probably the go-to period.
Yeah,
they were cheesy. Come on, they weren't exactly looking like the actors or anything like that.
You know what I had? And they were very cool. Again, just you mentioning about them not really looking like the actors. I had A-Team figures, and they were pretty cool.
But it's the same concept. The A-Team figures, the G.I. Joes. Well, G.I. Joes were a little more advanced. And they had the Star Wars, where the He-Mans were bigger.
Yes.
And, they look cooler.
The A-Team,
easier to play with and stuff like that. And they're very hard to break.
The A-Team ones were like that. They were bigger, just around the same size as the
I don't remember the A-Team being that big. They were the same size as Star Wars.
No, they were bigger. They were about the size of the He-Man ones. The ones I had anyway. And I also had a Rambo gun.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Today's a better day now that I knew that.
Well, it's just keeping with that connection and with me and Rambo, you know what I mean? There's a lot of similarities between us,
Well, it was time to get the movie made after the product was quite successful. Unfortunately, it came out a little late, I think. He-Man came and went. He-Man lasted a good 4 or 5 years, but this came out, I think, a couple years too late.
Yeah, they missed the boat a bit.
Yeah, it took a while to get out. I'm sure there's budgetary reasons and so forth. But yeah, here we are to talk, not He-Man, but Masters of the Universe.
I have the power.
Directed by Gary Goddard. Gary Goddard doesn't do much. He just kind of did this one, a couple one-offs. But he's actually very popular he does a lot of the movie amusement rides for Universal Studios.
I saw that. I read on that.
Yeah, like Jurassic World, all the fun park rides, he creates them and the stories behind it, which I think is kind of neat little gig.
Mm-hmm.
And again, funny thing is, I can kind of see that after seeing this film. You can kind of see him going to that direction.
Yeah, this is an amusement park ride. You know the way Martin Scorsese in recent years and Quentin Tarantino to a certain extent, but definitely Scorsese accused Marvel of being theme park rides. This is very much a 1980s theme park ride.
I want to go that.
In a way.
I want to go that far. I mean, when I think theme park rides, I think, big blockbuster Marvel. I mean, this isn't.
Well, it was for the 80s.
No. We'll get into it. Yeah, I read up on this a little bit. It was kind of funny that the one thing Mattel wanted was we have a lot of robot deaths here. And the reason they had to be robot deaths, Mattel says He-Man does not kill.
Yeah, they didn't want any characters being killed here.
They know He-Man doesn't kill.
Yeah.
And so they had to turn the villains into robots, the ones that he kills.
Yes, but also not established characters in their canon weren't allowed to die. Even Skeletor survives at the end if you stick to the end of the credits.
Oh, yeah, I'll be back. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But, I mean...
spoiler alert.
It's not as though this film's highbrow anyway, you know what I mean? Or serious.
Now, the one thing that the film gets right, and I have to admit, besides some of the acting's pretty piss poor, but I think that's more for comic book effect than it is that they're bad actors.
Look, as much as I love Dolph, and we talked about him in the Universal Soldier podcast, he's bad here.
But yeah, we got Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, Frank Langella, Skeletor, Meg Foster as Evil Lynn, Billy Barty as Gwynlor, Courtney Cox as Julie, Robert Duncan McNeil as Kevin, John Cypher as Man-at-Arms, Chelsea Field as Tila, and the good to always see, we've talked about him quite a few times here, James Tolkien.
Yes.
As Detective Lubick.
Yes.
Which is probably one of the creepiest endings.
I know.
And we will certainly get to his ending.
Yep.
It's about,
got myself a beautiful woman.
Sex with a minor. Having sex with a minor, it looked like. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's weird, the ending. Well, it got myself a beautiful woman, so I'm just going to stay here and an alien sort of planet with all these monsters and stuff. Why the hell not?
Now, well, they didn't take him seriously down on Earth.
Well,
all right, so listen. The music here is pretty fun. It's comic booky, superhero-esque.
Superman.
It's stolen right from. Let's get this out of the way. The music's composed by Oscar winner Bill Conte, who gave us the Rocky theme, and
Dynasty theme, and
Karate
stuff. Kid.
He does a lot of sports stuff.
Yeah,
and good, rah 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 kind of music. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is Warner Brothers, isn't it?
No, this is.
I guess
Canon
they can get
Films.
away with it. Oh, it's Canon.
Yeah.
But were they a subsidiary of Warner Brothers? I could be wrong. Anyways, I would be if I directed and produced Superman, I'd be suing the fuck out of these guys with the score and for the opening credits.
Yeah,
it's exactly like Superman
and Supergirl as well.
Blatant.
The way Supergirl is like. I know it's part of the same sort of franchise. But it's like basically a Poundland version of Superman. Well, you get similar vibes here, especially with the opening credits. John Williams did the Superman score, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't sue.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a form of flattery, and it is Bill Conti.
Yeah,
he's well respected. So
yeah, exactly.
If it was some no-name synthesizer guy, I'd be a little pissed off.
Yeah, but like me sitting on my computer in the house or something. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Now the 80s. Here's the problem. This film is a piece of shit. Let's get this out of the way right now. All right, there you go. It's a piece of shit. However, you can enjoy pieces of shit.
It's entertaining.
All right, you can have a smile. I had a smile on my face. I was never rolling my eyes at it. I was going with it.
It's innocent fun
because you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
They're not looking to fucking reinvent the wheel here.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it and I had a smile on my face and I was laughing. I'll tell you what, these kind of films in the 80s always get passes for me. Now, there's some that really suck to the point where I want my fucking money back. We've talked about that with like Return to Salem's Lot and Stop When My Mama Shoot. Those are films where you get angry because you know what? Fuck you. I deserved a little better than this.
This is the Tango and Cash of fantasy 80s films.
See, these kind of films, yeah. I mean, I can see that, but these kind of films, I think He-Man's right up there with other films like Krull.
Yeah.
and Flash Gordon.
For Flash Gordon,
And-
100% Flash Gordon vibes I got from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you had the old matte models and stuff, which I still like to see.
Even
I'll tell you what,
Skeletor is
I'm
very
not-
similar to
I'm
Mike the
not-
Merciless.
I'm not at all going to insult the effects. I'm not going to insult
They're fine.
the production design is actually quite nice. I will insult the acting. I will insult the story. I will insult everything else.
Gwendolyn, would you insult Gwendolyn or whatever the fuck you call that wee freak?
Wow, Billy Barty?
No, I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character. With the,
Billy Barty's a veteran, man. He's class.
yeah, I'm not talking
Time-
about the actor. I'm talking about the annoying little creature that he plays.
Yeah, the little fucker should have been killed, and the little fucker should not have been in
But
it.
see, the best about it, there is a different little fucker in the He-Man cartoons, but probably he floats and all, so it would have been too
Oh
difficult.
yeah, he's like a little magician.
Yeah,
thing.
it would have been too difficult to realise him. So he's a stand-in for him, Gwendolyn or whatever you call him. And boy, is
They were-
irritating.
Yeah, this is Billy Barty, and they were trying to jump on the whole. I don't know,
Willow or something, I don't know.
little people
Yeah,
like they're
Creatures,
trying to
yeah.
do like
Willow
no
or something.
like Ewoks
Yeah.
and Time Bandits and
Yeah.
Willow and all these other films that were coming out. And I like to see Billy Barty. He was the king of the little people who did these kind of roles. Everyone knew who he was, and then he had Warwick Davis kind of took on the torch, passed the torch
Yeah.
to him, and so so he was again. Billy Barty was very good at what he did, but this character's fucking ridiculous.
That's really
I
annoying.
wanted him dead.
Yeah, but yeah, go back to I mean, this is total Flash Gordon vibes, basically, apart from the fact that, well, no, actually, because of Flash Gordon, I mean, even Sam Jones and Flash Gordon has similarities to Dolph Lundgren in this, the acting and, the wooden acting, let's be honest about it, and, the sort of, the general sort of cheesiness and campness. Langella's great.
Do you know who was it who played Flash Gordon? Sam Jones.
Yeah, Sam Jones. Yeah, that's who said, yeah.
Do you know that wasn't his voice in the movie?
He was dubbed, was he?
He was dubbed.
I didn't know that. Right?
He wanted more money. His agent kind of told him he had to go back. You know how you have to do dialogue
Yes.
reshoots,
Yeah.
and audio shoots, whatever.
Yeah.
And he wanted more money, and he goes, "We can't afford it. Why are you doing this?" So it was a different actor who did his voice.
They got an extra in, basically. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know he does a lot of,
Now I don't know if they re-recorded it, and the new version years later is him,
don't know,
but that came from Sam Jones' mouth.
right?
And he says he regrets that to this day because he thinks it hurt his career.
But because he probably would have got a bit of a bad reputation as a bit of a sort of diva as well.
Yeah.
When it was maybe down to his agent, I don't know. But apparently he does the convention circuit a lot now as well.
Yeah, he's made a resurgence. He was on Ted for that TV movie. I mean, the movie Ted. He was one of the focal points. But yeah, good on him. I mean, he's admitted to his mistakes, and I think he's just got bad advice.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But I would say as well that apparently they were talking about dubbing Dolph in this because he had obviously you can hear it, a thick Swedish accent, but I think they ran out of time or budget or maybe both, and he just said basically we'll just run with Dolph.
Well, he didn't have much to say in it, and it worked. I mean, I can see He-Man with an accent.
The accent works, but
Dolph Lundgren was never a good actor.
He looks the part.
He's not like, to me, Schwarzenegger is a good actor. You don't agree with that, but I do. I think he's a good actor.
I never once said that.
But you did say that. You say it all the time when we talk Arnold.
I think he's got better.
All the time. You like him, but you don't think he's a good actor. You said it. Stop.
Well, he's not. I mean, he's not.
No.
Frank Langella.
I can't believe
He's
you're
not
changing.
Frank
You just
Langella.
talked about him in the Terminator.
He's not Frank
Oh
Langella.
man!
Let's just
when I
say.
talked to Arnie tonight about this one, he's not going to be happy.
He's going to terminate me. No, I mean he's not. I mean he's all right. I mean he's got a great presence and charisma.
Okay, we're not going to go back in this comp because you say this. This is
He's a better actor than Dolph.
a tree stump is a better actor than Dolph, but Dolph has a presence on screen.
He looks the part.
He has a likability instantly.
Yeah.
We talked about this with Universal Soldier quite a few years ago, where, I mean, man's a genius in real life.
Yes, he's all sorts of
but
degrees
because-
and master's degrees.
Yeah, and so he's, you know, it is what it is, and he doesn't do fucking Shakespeare in the Park, which I love to see, but he plays to what he can do, and he knows that. He doesn't try to reinvent himself. He just,
On the subject of Shakespeare, Frank Langella plays Skeletor as a Shakespearean villain. In fact, he directly quotes Shakespeare in some of his dialogue. He was allowed to write some of his own dialogue for this, and he's great. He's a pantomime villain, of course, but he hams it up big time, but he's the most memorable out of this.
Yeah, I even for the 80s, I enjoyed the makeup. I thought the effects were kind of neat, the makeup effects.
Yeah.
Actually, I think most of the makeup, besides Gwildor, I thought I was annoying because I just hate the character.
Right, yeah, he was.
I just want to kick little fucker in vat of acid.
Football with him. What did you recognize the actress who plays Evil Lynn?
Yeah, it's Meg Foster.
Yeah. Just we were talking about her recently, and she's in They Live.
Yeah, she got by with her eyes. Her eyes got her these roles. Mm-hmm. She always played villains because of it. I do like how Skeletor has his sorceress kidnapped.
Yeah.
And he keeps asking her. She's pretty much the mirror on the wall.
The sorceress is a character, if I remember rightly. The sorceress is a character, but she's like young. Well, I suppose she's only like Skeletor makes her go old in this, and then she's young again at the end. But yeah, sorceress, as far as I'm aware, is a character in the cartoon and the comic books and stuff. And there are some characters missing here, which sort of niggled me a tiny bit, but would have the more hardcore fans would have been annoyed at, especially at the time, like Battle Cat. But I mean, they would have to I don't know. There was no real CGI then, so they wouldn't have been able to get a tiger dressed.
No, they couldn't do that. If this movie did well, it didn't. But if it did well, a sequel would have got bigger budget. Yeah. They could have played around with that.
She-Ra's missing as well. The time.
You're about 6 years away from Jurassic Park.
Exactly. You could not got a tiger on set,
So they have this cosmic key that Billy Barty has.
Yes.
With Gwildor, right? Yes. And this cosmic key lets you go around the universe and and stuff like that.
Around space and time.
So, but Skeletor needs both keys because he has one, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, there are two here. Yeah.
Yeah. There's two of them.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Gwendolyn invented them. Gwendolyn is an inventor, and Skeletor forced him to invent them because Skeletor wants to conquer the universe, the galaxy.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Because he's evil.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so a fight breaks out and they escape to Earth.
Yes.
No. I almost think, because God love them, they only had the one set
for
Skeletor.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they had the towns. They had two sets, which is fine. I'll go with it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't do much. I was wondering, I would like to see more on Eternia. Is that it?
Yeah, Eternia.
And I'd rather see more on that planet, but God love them, they only had the one set.
Well,
it's the same set every time we go back.
With Eternia,
so
the outdoor scenes, it's basically just obviously the Californian desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they put some red lens or something in front of the camera. Ooh, look.
Yeah, alien planet.
It's the red moon.
It's Eternia.
Fuck.
What did you think of Tila and Man at Arms?
Terrible.
I like Tila.
I don't like putting down ChelseaFields, but she's always been a bad actress.
She looks good.
But yeah,
like Dolph.
Did her and Evil Lynn switch outfits?
Yeah,
they almost have the same outfits.
Well, it's like they're like basically the mirror to each other type thing, Speaking of Evil Lynn as well, Meg Foster, going back to the Shakespearean thing, Meg Foster played her role as Evil Lynn as basically Lady Macbeth. Because she's in love with Skeletor, but then at the end of it, she eventually realizes that he's not interested in her, so she basically fucks off with the rest of the mercenaries, those other ugly wee bastards,
I guess he wasn't willing to bone her.
Yeah. I actually like that one. Yeah, that's actually quite a good one. Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I didn't think of that myself.
Chelsea Fields, I know her she's been married to Sam Bakula for years. Scott Bakula.
Yes. Yep.
From Quantum
Leap and Star Trek.
Yeah.
And Lord of Illusions. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had a doofus Man at Arms played by John Cypher. He's just a veteran actor.
He looks like a
the
veteran.
acting here is, the acting here is terrible. Frank Langella gets away with it because
He's camping her up.
he's playing it, the way he's playing it. But it's Frank Langella, and he gets the fun role because he's in the makeup.
Yeah.
And when you put makeup on something, you're gonna fucking ham it up and have a good time. Where the other actors have to look like dipshits in these terrible costumes.
And trust me,
I mean,
they
they're
do
terrible.
do look like dipshits.
they look, and then he sends out when they get to fucking Earth, Skeletor has to send out his hitmen.
Yes, the mercenaries. They're mercenaries. Yeah.
Beastman, Blade, Sirag, and Karg.
I really like the lizard boy. And he gets bumped
That's
off.
Sirag.
Yeah.
He gets killed right away.
He's really
practically.
good. Actually, a great villain and really great makeup. He's the one.
What we got? And Beastman's terrible makeup. He's got the same grin. He can't move his mouth.
It's a mask. But the lizard boy is genuinely a great character. And, very well realized with the makeup, with the throat sort of, bulging and stuff.
That was Blade, wasn't it?
No, Blade's the one with the blades.
He's the terrible one with all these little fucking...
The bald head,
Yeah,
the eye patch,
Sirag.
the parrot patch, yeah.
Sirag and he's got the weird helmet.
Yes. Uh-huh. And what about who's the one that looks like a wee sort of like a witch with the long hair?
What? There's no. Oh, you mean Karg?
Yes.
The white hair.
Yes.
The white hair.
Yes. That's who I'm talking
The
about.
smaller one. Oh, fucking annoying. He was fucking annoying. Finder, this way.
Yeah.
You go here.
Yeah.
If I was Blade or Beastman or Sirag, I would have fucking chucked that fucker in the fire real quick.
It looks a bit like Zelda from Terrorhawks, which was an old sort of Jerry Anderson puppet series from back sort of 60s and 70s. But yeah, pretty annoying.
So we meet Kevin and Julie, and he's a musician, a high school musician.
And
Her
annoying.
parents are, terrible. He had a big career in Star Trek.
I was just going to say, Robert Duncan McNeil, he was Paris in Star Trek Voyager.
Care less.
Yeah. Courtney Cox. Whatever happened to Courtney Cox?
Yeah. She's
not great here.
Yeah, so her parents are dead.
Yes.
Oh, it's so funny. When she goes, my parents were killed in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And it's my fault. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Were you the pilot?
Yeah, no, it was because her dad's a pilot, and I think she was like looking him to go somewhere or something in the plane, as you do. But they crashed, and I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just the way it's played out. It's like basically some sort of daytime soap opera sort of plot line. It's stupid.
Yeah.
How did she live with? Because she's still a high school girl.
They were going to drive to the beach.
And his private plane.
And then she didn't want to go. She wanted to go fuck her boyfriend.
Yes, that's right.
And then
the
parents decided to take their
went
plane.
anyway.
How much more? They got, for their parents to own a plane, they got a pretty shitty house. I mean, I don't know what kind of plane they had. Clearly it sucked because it crashed.
Maybe he made it himself, like a DIY. I don't know. But who does she live with then? Because it's just like her parents are dead, so she just like lives on her own or something. I don't know. Because she's technically a high school kid still.
That's right. Who was she living with?
Never explained. But then, she was going to like fuck off basically and live with somebody or go and work somewhere. She worked in the diner.
She was going to go to New York or something.
Yeah, to join the cast of Friends with Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry and the gang. And Joey Tribbiani. But yeah, she was going to go somewhere, and that's why she was breaking up with Tom Paris from Star Trek.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get the name.
Yeah. And then
the movie's bad when we're actually given the names of other characters better than they played.
Well, Strickland, I just call him Strickland, James Tolkien as the cop on this, who's actually quite good. But he's always sort of good at playing those sort of secondary characters.
Quite good. I mean, you really... Come on.
Well, he's doing his best with what he's got. But yes, so basically...
And these people are fucking idiots.
They're all of them. Like, there's not... I mean, to be fair, the Skeletor, or it's either Skeletor or Evil Lynn later on in the film, they say something like this primitive planet. It might even be Gwendolyn, this primitive planet full of like Neanderthals or something like words to that effect. And you're like sort of sitting there going, yeah, I agree with you. I'm on your side here,
I love when they find the cosmic key. Oh, you remember when they land?
Yes.
And He-Man goes to the other dipshits.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we're going to split up.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. And we'll use a call sign, or I'll call out, or we'll meet up, whatever.
Yeah.
Within 30 seconds, the three dipshits outside of He-Man,
Yeah.
they end up in a bush. Outside of a restaurant or a school or something like that.
Yes.
You have this whole town you have to explore.
Yeah.
And you three end up at the same location within a half a second.
Yeah.
Fucking geniuses.
But also the reason Man of Arms wanted to be there is because he was hungry. So he was like eating the ribs from the diner that Courtney Cox cooked. So he was chomping on the ribs, but then Tila was disgusted because there must be vegetarians in Eternia.
Yeah, but they got that. No. They got that, though. That was just coincidence that happened. Them showing up at that exact same spot, well, is
a bit of a plot convenience, but it's not the only one here, to be fair. You know?
Well, that's not to be. I mean, that's
yeah.
You can get away with called plot conveniences, but that one. And then they're eating it. Oh my God, this is animal. This had a face.
Yeah.
So I guess they're all vegans.
Yeah. Well, there must be in Eternia. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know about Gwen's lore. Who knows? You know, I think he was eating some of it. So he was. Who knows?
What? How the fuck do they think that's a synthesizer when they find the fucking cosmic key? What a bunch of
fucking
stupid
bastards.
Stupid fucking hillbillies. Fucking idiots.
And he's got like a sort of bit of a mullet as well, but yeah, it's like, the Kevin character has a mullet, not Courtney Cox. She actually looks great. That was really sort of whenever she was breaking through. She also, around this time, sort of made a breakthrough in a Bruce Springsteen video. So she did. But sort of digressing.
That was a couple years earlier. She was hired for that.
Yeah.
But she made it big because of Family Ties with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the show that put her on the map.
Yeah.
And then, she got all these roles and rest snowballed from there. Speaking
of Michael J. Fox, there's a certain sort of Back to the Future feel about this, and I'm not just talking about James Tolkien, but it feels like it was inspired in sort of ways. I mean, the ending is straight from Back to the Future. When she wakes up.
Oh, when she wakes up.
Yeah. And her parents are like back.
Yeah.
They're not dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. You never know. Stole from everything else.
Apparently some of the sound effects of the cosmic key, whenever it's like opening the portals or whatever to go to different times and sort of planets, and that's the same special effect, sound effect that's used for the DeLorean car in Back to the Future.
No.
There you go.
Well, you might as well steal from good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got the first big battle scene when they're at the gym. He leaves her for a minute, and
yes,
Courtney Cox is being attacked. I do like the gym coach gets his ass kicked.
Yes.
And there's blood.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're trying to, we do too much violence, got to be robot deaths, but Beastman's always bleeding, probably because he can't close his mouth and he's biting his lip. But yeah, there's some peril, kind of. But anyways, I do love that you got these, I'm going to send these fucking great mercenaries.
Yeah.
And Julie ends up shooting one of them.
Yeah, they're absolutely useless. Tell me this, what's the deal with the time travel sort of cameras they have whenever they can just like look, point it at a certain, like it's like an entry or the street where they were fighting them and they're able to see what happened like half an hour ago or something? That's a bit weird and a bit throwaway in that it's just like used once and it's never referred to ever again. Again, another plot convenience.
I got a problem with Julie goes missing.
Yes.
And the detective
Strickland
and Kevin are worried about where she is.
Yeah.
Strickland kind of thinks it's now you got me fucking saying it. The detective takes Kevin to his house. And they start having chicken.
Yes. They put it in the microwave and the microwave blows up because Skeletor in Eternia is trying to trace the cosmic key. So he traces it. That's what it is. They're getting interference. The microwave is causing interference with Skeletor's signals to track the cosmic key. So Skeletor...
A fucking one microwave?
So Skeletor says, well, fuck you, microwave, and they blow the shit out of it.
That's what happened?
Strickland's chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this: if you get anything out of the movie, is that I really craved a nice lazy boy recliner, a Pepsi, or a Burger King.
There was a lot of product placement here. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. It was not short on that. Definitely.
I was waiting for He-Man going, I have the power and a Whopper.
To eat Burger King. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing is essentially a toy advertisement anyway for Mattel, but throw in a load more product placement and yeah. Yeah.
When He-Man is on those little scooters.
That reminded me of Highlander 2.
It's clearly a doll.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool. I was with it. I was like, that's
The
right.
hoverboards.
It reminded me of the old Ray Harryhausen, Clash of the Titans kind of stuff, you know? I was like, I'll go with it.
The problem is the choreography of that and other fight scenes like later on. I mean, I remember you slagging off Highlander for having poor choreography.
Oh, it's terrible.
But here,
it's terrible.
here it is like there's no real. You don't really feel involved in it. There's no real sort of excitement or tension or whatever. But the stuff with the hoverboards, and I know Highlander 2 came after this, but it just put me in mind straight away of Highlander 2. And that's another classic piece of shit.
What the fuck is the scene with that little fucker Gwildor is in drag?
Yeah, he's the comedy fucking alien guy.
Oh, yeah, he needed to be gone.
Yeah, he needed to be shot through the head. So he did, multiple times, by Steven Seagal or something. Yeah.
I hated that little fucker.
Yeah, it was like a thing in the 80s where you would have had like the comedy sort of, fantasy creature, but there were always like little guys, or dwarfs or midgets or whatever. I don't even know what to call them these days. But yeah, the little guys that would have had like a comedy sort of sidekick type thing in a lot of these fantasy films. He was that, and boy, he is pretty irritating to say the least. Imagine if you met someone like that in real life.
Fucking
you kill him.
I'd call Area 51. Hey guys, I got something for you.
I'd sign myself into the nearest sort of mental health hospital because it's not something you see every day.
There's a very powerful scene. It really, really worked with me.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up. My apologies.
You're tearing up, Ciaran.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to talk about.
Yeah,
because I know Julie, and she sold me and her loss for her family. But when Evil Lynn uses that against her to become Julie's mom, to fool her, that was very emotional.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was heartbreaking stuff, especially when you find out it's actually Evil Lynn. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I was totally good. This again, it highlights the complete stupidity of all of the characters, the Earthbound characters here. It was mom. So she goes and steals the cosmic key of what do you call it, Tom Paris and Strickland, but then it's Evil Lynn.
So. Oh my God! You think this movie can get any bad? I'm making fun of it, but you know what? I'll tell you what.
It's entertaining.
This movie doesn't stop.
Yeah.
There's not a dull moment. There's stuff you're laughing at it because it's terrible, but it's not insulting.
Very fast moving.
If that makes it.
It's silly nonsense, but entertaining, harmless, innocent fun, I would say.
So they need to get the right notes for to
send them
get
back.
The cosmic key back up.
Yeah.
To send them back. And so dipshit Kevin's like, I'm just a stupid keyboard player in a high school band. And I'm like, yep.
Gwendolyn says, is it Gwendolyn or is it the man says, no, there is only one of you. You know what I mean? You can do,
Oh, I know. We got that He-Man special moment.
Yeah. It was, inspiring stuff, It was.
He goes, you're more special than that. And I'm like, okay. So he's got a hum. He remembers the hummings.
Complete plot convenience again.
God.
Yeah. It was just like a piece of music he had heard, a slight melody he had heard a couple of times, and there was all this craziness going on, but he's the only one that can remember it. And bear in mind, he's an absolute dipshit at the best times anyway, but he can remember it.
And let me get this straight. I don't know how big this town is, but it looks pretty small.
There's no extras here.
Where are all the cops?
Yep.
Now, here's what I don't get. not so you've got the detective. This is one of the reasons he stays in Eternia is because nobody respects him. But he's telling all these cops, guys, we're being attacked, blah blah. The cops are like, oh, you're lying. Well, have you been to town? It's fucking destroyed. I was like, how do you guys not see what's happening here? I mean,
well, it appears.
Where's the sheriff's office?
Well, and not only that, it appears that basically Julie and Kevin and Strickland are the only residents in the town because there's no extras. There's no like collateral damage here. There's no like apart from that other dipshit who works in the record store, Kevin's mate.
You got the coach.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he gets sort of bumped off pretty early. But yeah, I mean, this is a very small town in terms of population. Let's just say nobody seems to notice this complete carnage. Where's the news reporters? Where's like the sort of, you know, the late night sort of fast food restaurants or whatever? There's basically there's no extras. They must not be able to afford extras.
Well, how can they not afford extras? But we got fucking 3,000 robots he's about to kill. Well, they're fucking.
I mean, it's just I don't know.
The directors go, okay, cut. All right, fuckers, throw out the robot outfits and go stand in the park or something.
Yeah.
give us something.
Exactly. Doubled up, yeah. But yeah, so it's a very nobody seems to notice. Maybe they were on bed sleeping. Who knows?
So when they get back to Eternia,
yes,
I do like the part when they're all in one little corner of the town, and when they get sucked back to Eternia,
that part of the
they
town.
actually bring back part of the corner of that town,
half the car,
like part of the car, and the wall.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that was all right.
It was
I kind of
like
that
sort of quirk.
Yeah, but then you got fucking glam rock Skeletor we're about to get here. What the fuck?
Yeah, when he becomes like a god. So he does after he has like and He-Man's enslaved and he's getting whipped by a sort of laser whip or something. Who knows? And by Blade, and then there's a big fight, and
so glam rock Skeletor, and then of course he gets the sword back very easily. By the way, He-Man, and he goes, I have the power.
Yeah, I sounded just like him. I actually thought that was He-Man for a split second. I thought that was actually He-Man.
Yep, I was gonna be the voice double for Dolph. So he chucks him like the Emperor in Return of the Jedi and chucks him over the little thing.
Throws him down a bottomless pit.
Yeah. That was right. The fight scenes were fun. I mean, nothing big. I mean, nothing great. I mean, these swords were so fucking huge. How the fuck are the actors supposed to hold these things?
Dolph, apparently Dolph did all his own stunts here.
Well, no, I love.
Don't you have to do that, to be fair?
Yeah, it's not like, oh my God, he ran up those steps by himself.
He wasn't doing a Tom Cruise, but
it wasn't like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You say that about Tom Cruise, like, fuck, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
You say this about He-Man, it's like, what the fuck?
I know.
What did he do? He ran a half block with.
I don't know. I just read up that he did it
with scissors.
Maybe he was really flying on those hoverboards earlier on in the film. You know.
Yeah, did you see? I mentioned that earlier. It literally leads just a figurine.
Yeah, exactly. It's ropey.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's ropey. Yeah.
Oh my God. I love the fact. So Julie and Kevin have to go back home.
Yes.
But remember this.
I know what you're going to say. Strickland.
Don't say goodbye. Say good journey.
No, I thought you were
very powerful.
Yeah. Oh no, that was
and then
emotional.
It ends.
It just hit me right there in the heart. So then, good journey.
That's powerful. That's a powerful message. Mm-hmm. Don't say goodbye. Say good journey. And then as they do that powerful message, you have Detective Lubick with a minor. He decides to stay and sleep with this young princess.
Well, I still think she was a minor, but here she wasn't kicking the arse
off. She was a minor, and very creepy.
Yeah, it's a weird scene. Just sort of shoehorned in at the end there. I don't think she was a minor, but I think she was maybe in her early 20s, and he's like clearly in his 60s or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, this is real. This is like something DiCaprio would do. And well, DiCaprio only dates 19-year-olds. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
And so this is kind of his thing. He's kind of the DiCaprio of the group.
Well, I mean, he's not quite as good looking as DiCaprio, I would say. Not only that, he's obviously, along with Gwendolyn, he's obviously meant to be a bit of a comedy sidekick as well. But he just comes. I mean, obviously James Tolkien's doing the best he can, here, and he's always memorable, but probably for all the wrong reasons here. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I love when Julie wakes up and her folks are still alive.
Yeah.
And she goes, Mom and Dad, I want to go to the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her and Kevin embrace.
Yeah. I know, but before
and
she
it's
does
all
that,
because of the power of He-Man.
Yeah. But before she does that, she's like, she stops him, she grabs, I don't know, the fucking key to the plane or something, and she goes, I love you. And then they're all, what are you doing, honey? What are you doing, honey? Then she runs out into the street wearing her nightdress, and dipshit boyfriend fucking appears, and they embrace, and it's so entertaining nonsense. 80s cheese.
Yeah.
Pure 80s cheese.
Yeah. It's bad in so many ways, but that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I almost think if they took this seriously, we'd have a problem.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it's a toy advert, and yes, it's 80s sort of commercialism, but you know what? I remember, again, this is one of the many films I watched on video back then, and I remember finding it really entertaining back then. Yes, you can see the flaws much more as an adult looking back on it. But you know what? Yes, there's a bit of nostalgia there as well. But yeah, it's harmless silliness. I like it.
I like my 80s Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
You had Red Scorpion, obviously Rocky
Scorpion's
IV, and this one. Then he had Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
And then he kind of went direct-to-video kind of route, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the Expendable series.
Yes.
So it's nice to see him. I like the guy.
I like him. Yeah.
And
yeah. So
there you have it. Now, I know they're finally trying to get this movie off the ground for He-Man for years. With today's technology, they could really fucking make a good He-Man movie.
But would it be as campy and as memorable as this? Probably
It'd
not.
be interesting. Will a $200 million budget powerhouse CGI directed by the guys who gave us a Captain America and all-out cast, you fucking give us Chris Hemsworth as He-Man, whatever. It'd be interesting to say, you know what? I kind of like the original better.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if all that money and all that talent
by magic
can really actually top this.
Exactly.
Because there's you just never know.
This has a certain magic to it, even though it's probably unintentional, certainly unintentional at the time. Well, maybe, they were obviously aiming to, be popular and stuff, but now it's become more of a sort of cult hit, which they probably weren't aiming for back then.
Yeah, no film was.
Yeah.
No film does.
Yeah.
Wants that.
Exactly.
But, yeah, all right, there you go. We'll be back.
Like Skeletor.
with fucking Street Fighter. Oh, Jesus. But before that, we're going to there's a new horror film out that I was given the opportunity to see, and I would like to put this on the podcast just to give it a little shout and make people aware of it. But it's actually doing quite well, and people are being made aware of it. A lot of people are enjoying the concept of it, and in a violent nature, the point of view through the killer. So we'll be talking about that one next week. That's all I have. We're going to wrap this one up. 45 minutes talking about fucking He-Man.
Gwendolyn.
Wow.
Yeah, and the gang.
Yeah, fucking. All right. Guys, give us a shout at CitizenFrame_podcast on Instagram and, of course, Facebook. And that's all we have. We're going to wrap this one up. Talk soon.